and you should be going.
Okay. Well, welcome back, everyone, to Currents of War, our newest Fabula Ultima campaign set in Midgheim. Uh, Last time when we left off, it was just a nice, fun little introductory session where our five wonderful heroes met in a town run by orcs, a bunch of boar people. And they had some fun little adventures. There was some mild petty theft, the discovery of an ugly man in the woods along with a alcoholic dragon. We rescued a little girl who wasn't in too much peril in the first place, and all in all, it was very light. And then they went back to the orc village, and everything was on fire, and knights were trying to kill everybody. And the title of the campaign sort of came into focus as our heroes realized they were now on the battlefront of the Fourth Goblin War. With the town of Skullcrack uh, basically burned down to ashes. Um, and the squad of soldiers that were assaulting it dealt with lethally. Our heroes have a bit of a head start on an army that will probably be pursuing them, or at the very least, start to pursue them if it catches wind of their trail. Um, so you are traveling through the forest of Ardennes on your way to Bordeaux, or at least to the area around Bordeaux. You don't want to travel too deep into the forest of Ardennes because the center of it is a portal to fairyland, and you never quite know when you've crossed the threshold, and you could be lost there for a very long time. So you have to travel on the outskirts, which means that you will be going by human settlements, which may carry a certain risk of danger. The woods themselves also have their dangers, which is why we're gonna make a travel check. This is really easy. We are in a area of medium danger, so someone needs to roll a d10.
Who would like to do that? There we go.
Okay. Uh, that is not a 6 or higher, so no monster. That's good. It's not a 1 either, so that's a shame. But you do find something while traveling. You find a sort of, I guess you could call it a grave, or maybe just a place where bones are deposited in the forest. Of about five Amaragal soldiers, uh, complete with livery and some very light armor, um, belonging to one of the noble houses of the kingdom of Amaragal. And while the livery is dirty from having sat in the woods for a long period of time, and also probably more than a little bit stained from whatever claimed the lives of these five men. It is wearable and recognizable as the livery of a soldier of the kingdom, specifically a Frankish soldier, not a Bretonch soldier.
Well, okay then.
Yeah. So you get five Frankish soldier costumes.
Okay.
And I should have played the music. But we've heard this before. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if
There we
any of
go.
that's gonna fit uh, some of us.
It might not yet.
uh, I'll what I'll probably say, just go ahead and say is Art switches hats for the time being, so he looks like he's Frankish.
Yeah, they probably buried you in like um there's probably special funeral clothes for soldiers for the hallowed dead. So you probably were up till now wearing armor that specifically is reserved for people buried in that big crypt,
Yep.
which would be pretty scary to anyone who knows the implications.
It's like, if I'm gonna disguise myself, I might as well, use something that looks it. Sorry, mate. This doesn't look like a place to stab people at, so probably didn't kill you.
Mm-hmm.
He says, talking to the very clear skeleton.
The skeleton says nothing back. Not all skeletons are magic,
No.
as much as we wish they were.
One chair is just going to grab one and put it in his jar.
Well, there's not much meat on it. In fact, it looks like it was very thoroughly picked clean, but if you got some bones in there now...
He's making bone broth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, bone broth, like in the Star Wars!
Shakes off the clothing to separate it and the bones, and just puts like the clothing in another pocket or whatever.
Take that bone. You get some subs. You got yourself a stew going.
Yeah, crack it open, put the marrow in somewhere.
Alright. Well, since we didn't trigger a random encounter, you guys get the bourgeois just fine.
Grab those kneecaps.
Plunder those patellas. Hobble those knobbies. Gurgle those bendies. Jack those joints. Anyways, you get to the town of Bourgeois, or rather, you get to the outskirts of the forest, or nearby the town of Bourgeois. Bourgeois is a medium-sized town, and as you approach from within the woods, you see a sight that makes your heart drop. For planted throughout the town on very long, tall poles are several red Bretonche flags with the white sort of Y-shaped insignia of Engelsex.
I'm not going in there.
If
So
we're
much for
going,
warning any of the bridge towns.
yeah.
Now, this presents a problem for you. You were not able to get many supplies while in Skullcrack, and if you are to travel to Champagan or any of the bridges to get across to where you are being sent, you are going to need some supplies to continue the journey. You can't keep roughing it in the woods alone. I mean, maybe Moncher can, and I suppose Art could, but the rest of you need food and things to sleep on, and like blankets to keep from catching a chill at night. So, the question is, while at least two of you probably shouldn't go into a town filled with Bretonche knights, two of you could potentially pass.
Yeah, didn't we
And
talk about
Moncher
this?
is, as always, a wild card.
Those disguises might not be the most helpful in this place.
You're roboting again like last time.
Yeah, you're lagging.
The curse of France hits again.
Oh no, France took out DZ.
It would.
Seeing if you were talking, you're not coming through except for a moment where you sounded like a cicada.
Yeah, what is this? Animal Crossing?
Yeah, we can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's like nothing coming through. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Someday I will find the god of technology and kill them
And
to wear their crown.
we get any better?
Uh-oh.
Not quite,
Not
man. You're
quite.
coming in and out.
Yeah.
I think
That-
it might be his internet connection. Hello.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Mhm.
I just clicked reset all voice settings, so I don't know if maybe that'll help.
Hopefully. You sound okay now.
Mhm.
Sounding better so far.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, didn't we talk, like, bring up or start talking about who would go in last time or whatever?
Yeah, we might have to split this party.
Okay, sorry. I had something pop up. So, splitting party, going into the human village, probably.
Yeah. It's looking like we're gonna need some more supplies.
Oh my God.
Scene, I'm
So
sorry.
the
but
end
you're-
of that, the end
I'm
of we're gonna need
sorry.
some more supplies came through clear, but the beautiful, dramatic New York City acting of everything before it killed the connection.
I can't
That's
believe
weird.
Discord hates Flavian.
I heard that Rizzo the Rat, and then it just roboted until we're
Yeah.
it's like you
That's
got two
weird.
Sopranos for it.
Like you going, that's weird. Came through perfectly.
I think it just hates Flavian.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you
Sorry,
hear me
this
now?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
Quick, say something as Flavian.
Yeah, forget about it. I'm walking here.
That's,
okay.
I heard that.
Okay, it's working again.
I think because we prompted it though.
I turned off that noise suppression powered by Crisp thing, whatever that is. Maybe that's the problem.
We'll find out.
It might be because it felt like it was doing it because of like a slight spike in volume, like when my
Oh.
microphone refuses to take my beautiful acting into account.
I wonder if that's changed with the new laptop.
I don't know. I think it's a microphone problem rather than a laptop problem. But I guess we'll find out. This is the first. No, this is the second session I've done with this laptop. So yeah, we'll find out. Okay. Obviously, Flavian makes sense to go on the Bourgeois mission. Are we letting him
Send
go
the
alone?
Send the merchant to go do the buying stuff.
I think Art was gonna go with. He was just gonna, like, cover himself.
Completely like pull up some disguises to help cover you.
Wait, is this one of the places that Deck would have passed through and like been to? Like, is this one of the places that Deck would know has a goblin settlement?
I feel like well, no, there's not a goblin settlement here. I feel like Duck probably like looking at the map from
He's
the
probably
Grumboog. You probably went through the fields of Desolese, hit the town around Castle Broche, passed through Jivoire, and then either went through Melonbury or, depending on how much time you spent with your thieves on the mortal side of things, in Lutetia, because Lutetia is a bigger city. And then through either
Yeah.
of their bridges, went around the Forest of Ardennes to end up at Skullcrack.
Yeah,
I
because she
don't
spent
think
most of her time in Lutetia before coming to Skullcrack. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you've gone to the cities on the towns on this side, mainly because at best they're medium-sized towns and they don't have that much that's interesting to pilfer. And a lot of them are more on the small side. Even Champagan, while being a fairly decent size, like it's small for a city, large for a town. It's a good trading port with Bretance, but it only is a good trading port when Bretance and Francaine are on good terms with each other. And how fucking often is that?
Okay, so there wouldn't really be a reason for Duck to try sneaking in.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, looking like the rest of you aren't willing to play the part of the loyal manservant.
I don't think I would pass.
Yeah, Duck looks between herself, Grugan, and Monshare, and then back and goes, "We're not. You two are the only human-shaped ones."
And at the manservant comment, Moncher is just giving a look of absolute disgust.
Raven. Raven's in the chat
Nice.
saying free France.
Now, all I'm saying, you call me a manservant, there is a non-zero chance I sock you in the jaw. I'm your bodyguard. There's a difference.
Yeah, forget about it. Whatever. All right.
I'm so
through
glad
that time.
Discord stopped centering you.
Did it stop it again?
No, we heard you
No,
all
no.
that
No.
beautiful.
No,
In,
okay,
in your full Rizzo the Rat glory, it's been wonderful.
I just hope he has a better ending than Rizzo Rat.
We'll see.
Fucking
All
Disney.
right.
Anyways. All right,
Let's
so
see
we
what
are.
we can find then.
We're gonna split the party, and I apologize to our more monstery members, but we are gonna focus on the humans first, for story pacing. But don't worry, we will get to you, and you will have something quite meaty. But first,
Oh, look at all those assholes.
you arrive in the small town streets, or medium-sized town streets of Bordeaux. As you walk around, this town has a lot of Breton soldiers walking around. And they're kind of giving people the shakedown. They look at you very severely as you pass by. And while the Frankish citizens are trying to go about their day and do things as normal, there's just like a slight palpable air of unease as they are, let's not mince terms here, they're being occupied. But you do come across some merchants. There is a merchant with a patchwork leather stall, merchant with a blue stall, a green stall, an orange stall, and a big red stall.
Art will lean into the ear of our wonderful merchant friend Flavian and be like, I'm going to let you do the talking. I don't want them to think, oh, I'm a sneaky soldier or something like that and get a guard reported on us.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know what? Bodyguards aren't really known for their mouth. Otherwise, they'd be called mouth guards. Or mouthy guards. Yeah, forget about it. Hey, how's it going there?
It's going wonderful. So we're going with the blue merchant. Okay.
Yep.
I have these wonderful amulets of elemental resistance. See page 286 of the Fabula Ultima Guide for all the different varieties, but they all cost like 700 Zenit. They're a little pricey, but they give you resistance to a given element. I definitely didn't steal them.
Who could blame you if you did? Maybe those knights over there better watch out. Appreciate the look, but I think we'll be moving on.
I'm never gonna up these stupid things. Alright. Next, the green merchant. Hi. I made these gloves myself. I killed the animals and I sewed them together. And I think they're pretty good gloves. Um, and I'm gonna post the stats. These in the loot box.
Okay.
There we are. There's elegant gloves, rough gloves, silky gloves, and warm gloves, and they all give something to a different status effect. What do you think?
Oh my.
Pretty good gloves, huh?
Yes, I quite admire the craftsmanship of these, but, you know, not quite what I'm looking for.
Oh,
But I
okay.
appreciate the time. You
All right.
keep being you.
All right. The Orange Merchant also has a set of things for sale. Not that I think anyone needs it with the security provided by our good Bretonch friends, but I've got some weapons in case you're traveling on the road and are worried about being attacked by. And she looks at a piece of parchment she's been given. Filthy goblins.
Ah, yes, always the filthiest those rascals out there.
One of the knights gives you a nod.
I'm actually quite surprised our new protectors even let you sell such things, though.
Well, it's and she looks and a couple of knights are looking. They're real generous, good guys.
Of course, of course. Yeah, don't let them scare you. We're just doing business, you know?
Yeah.
I'll be taking my business elsewhere.
Oh. Okay. You're heading to the Red Merchant? Hello, I'm Sparrow. And, say, you seem like a savvy and knowledgeable businessman.
Oh, no. Don't put that all on me. Please, what do you have?
Well, I have a bunch of trinkets out here, but, if you'd be willing to come into my tent, I could show you some really valuable stuff.
Well, yeah, let's say you piqued my interest.
Alright, he opens the door wide. Do you and Art come in?
Can I roll something to see like if this guy's vibes are all right?
Yeah, you can roll something. Roll double
Um,
insight. Or if you've got a different method plan, you can to justify different dice rolls. You can do that as well.
So you're basically rolling for a vibe check.
Yes, this is the vibe check. I got a
Okay.
10.
As so you're a ghost, right? And inhabiting a particularly decayed body. Your senses are not entirely physical. They are to a certain degree spiritual as well.
Mhm.
And so you can detect certain things about the spirit of a person. And souls of different species give off different, I guess for lack of better words, we really do have to go with vibes here. And this man has goblin vibes.
Fair enough. Art will nod and walk into the tent.
He does have a bird name.
As you go into the tent, he quickly closes the flap, and pulls off his pointy wizard hat, at which point his appearance entirely shifts into a 3-foot-tall little hobgoblin who bounces around the tent and's like, I can smell it on you. I can smell. You've been hanging out with a goblin and at least one orc, possibly several.
Art's just gonna lower his little like face mask and be like, "Yep," raise it back up.
And you're some sort of monster ghost man. Are you a monster ghost man? He says, pointing to Flavian.
No, he's human.
Maybe in some people's perspective, but not mine.
Okay. Okay.
But you're a hobgoblin, though. It's quite a nice hat you have.
It's
Would
a
have
very
other things like it, would you?
Well, no, but I can make some. Is the orc and the goblin you're with still around?
On the outskirts
They're
of
not
town.
far. Yeah.
Okay. Where did you guys come from? Is there a settlement nearby? Like, I don't care if it's bugbears or whatever. It's not safe here.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we can't really claim to. Where we came from is kind of up in flames at this point.
Okay. Ah, jeez. Shit.
Everyone got out alive at the very least.
My man told me to watch out for goblin wars. I didn't think that'd be one of my time.
They always have a habit of creeping up on you.
So your friends don't have glamour? That's why they're not with you?
Yep.
Correct.
Garrett paces around the tent for a moment and is like, okay, tell you what. Fairy to fairy, I'll make you some glamours, so your friends can be covered. But if you find a place that's safe, you gotta write me back. And he hands you a piece of red parchment.
That's all you're asking for?
I want to know a place where I can hunker down and just wait this whole thing out. They can't go to war forever.
Do we remember where the castle is that the others were going to?
You know that it's somewhere in the depths of the Forest of Ardennes, but the deeper you go in the Forest of Ardennes, the more non-fairy arcane monsters there are. It is apparently infested with lions. And then once you get into the actual fairyland portion of itself, it's fairyland. If you don't know where you're going, you're going to get someplace very, very odd.
Fair enough. If we find a place of safe haven, we will reach out to you to let you know.
Okay, my glamour's been holding really well. Here, and he hands you some buttons, which, when he puts them in your hands, look like gold coins. Just pretend you're buying some tchotchkes on the way out.
All right. Well, you're surprisingly helpful. Well, thank you very much.
This isn't free. I am making an investment. I'm serious. You find someplace safe, you tell me.
Investment, huh? I can get behind that, yeah. I'll mention it.
One of Arthur's eyes will wink at him as best as he can.
It's very unsettling because for a good chunk of the attempted wink, it looks like you're like the glowing ball in your eye socket might just drool out.
Uncomfortable.
um, and you guys now have 5 glamours attached to your little disguise outfits. Look at that. Now we have a plausible excuse why you can visit places and not be immediately swarmed by people trying to murder you.
Gotta love it when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we still need supplies for the road, and we haven't found those yet.
Yeah, we still got this good gentleman to talk with. Hey, how's it going there? What you got for sale?
I sell bedrolls. Yep, lots of people out in the woods these days trying to find those tricksy little lions. They never come back, so I assume they find them. But I help them get bedrolls so they can spend their nights out beneath the stars.
Jesus Christ.
Each bedroll costs 10 zenit apiece. It allows you to recover HP, MP, and IP while exploring the wilderness between towns. Since we're going to be doing a lot of off-road traveling compared to No Small Feat, and there are very vast sections of wilderness you'll be exploring, this is a mechanic from Fabula Ultima that we're going to slide right in there. Just slide it right in there.
So this is kind of an addition to the magic tent that is in the Invent IP system.
Yeah, I think that tent still costs, it still costs money to, use it. There is still a bedroll
IP.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. How much is it to just buy back IP? Well, I guess maybe with the bedrolls, actually, you know what, that's a moot point. Never mind. I don't need to do that.
Yeah. So,
right.
it does have a cost. It's not super expensive, but and they're used once you use them. For some reason, they're very cheap bedrolls. Like, this guy's expecting people not to need them more than a few times.
Yeah, alright. Let's see. How many of these should I get us? Let's see.
You can Pokemon style and just be safe and do 5.
Yeah. Yeah, well, alright. We'll take 5 of them.
Yeah. You can get 5 bedrolls. And I have to finish eating this cookie so I can talk more. Okay. As you are purchasing the bedrolls from this man, and he says, "Good luck finding those lions. I'm sure it'll end up differently for you." A platoon of soldiers passes by you, and you overhear their conversation. You know what's great about Frankish girls? What's that? Well, it's not their looks, obviously. They're all dogs. But what's great about them is they're so much looser than our women. That's true. And they share a laugh at this, frankly, just gross statement, while continuing their patrol of the town. And you notice just how the townsfolk continue to sort of shrink by as they're marching along.
I see they didn't have any good recruiting methods for this one. Got the absolute dredges of garbage.
Yeah, how do you end up recruited back then?
There was a nice fellow who came into town, did a whole big inspiring speech about serving your duty to the kingdom and things of that nature. I wasn't going to go originally, but my best friend Tom went, and then all my other mates started signing up, and I had to kind of do my duty. I didn't want my wife to be a pariah, because I was like, oh, I didn't chicken out of a war. Gods, I miss my wife.
I miss my wife, Tails. I'll be back. We're gonna pause there. Meanwhile, in the don't worry about that. Meanwhile, in the Forest of Arden, our 3 more monstrous members are just sort of chilling, waiting for the 2 Humies to get back. And as you chill, you hear the sound of footsteps. Sort of not quite crashing through the woods, but moving swiftly and without a lot of care, snapping twigs and things on their way. And as you sort of sit quietly at your little campsite, wrong NPC. A woman sort of crashes out of the trees, looks behind her as if trying to see whether or not she was followed, and then slumps by one tree, not noticing you, and pulls out a small dagger from her skirt. At which point, while looking at the dagger, she first places it above her chest and slightly to the left, and taps herself with it for a second before looking at it again, and then placing it by her throat and miming the action of slitting it before holding it out again and just sort of regarding this weapon with a very deep intensity.
There are less messy ways to off yourself.
And she immediately jumps, and her first instinct is to hide the dagger, but then seeing what's just popped out of the woods, she immediately flails for a moment before putting it in front of her. I'm sorry. I didn't know this was someone's spot.
It's not our spot. We don't mind that you're here. Do you mind telling us what's wrong?
She looks at you all for a moment, and there is just a sort of dull animal panic on her face for a time, that sort of softens as she thinks about what's troubling her, and she's like, you're fairies, right? And the dragon? The
Looks,
fairies and dragons?
Duck looks down to herself and goes, "Oh shit, when did that happen?"
Okay. Yeah. Fairies and dragons are different, but yeah, we're fairies.
I don't know much about fairies, but do you have towns, right? Do dragons have towns? I feel like dragons live in caves.
You smell that smoke on the wind? That's what happened to the nearest orc town.
Oh.
Do you?
Why we're
Okay, so
out in
then
the
you
woods.
you might understand this. These men have come into my town. They're not Frankish soldiers. They've come to my town and they've taken over. They've put up their own flags and they've started giving us commands. And
Red and white jerks.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been more and more of them have been coming, and today they said they demanded that all the pretty young women in town service them tonight.
Grugan starts stomping off towards the town.
And she looks at the knife. She's like, "Well, it's just I know where they're going to sleep."
Oh, he comes back.
And none of the other women think it's a good idea. But I have the key to where they're going to sleep. And so I was just I came here to think if I actually have it in me to and she mimes slashing a throat.
Probably not the best one to give advice, but stabbing someone in their sleep is, even safer than stabbing someone in the back.
And these are the kind of people who willingly joined up to burn towns with innocent children in them.
I mean, we did just kill some for trying to kill kids, so.
She puts the map together and she's like, so they are attacking. Oh, of course, they said they're here on a goblin war. So they're not just attacking us, they're attacking you.
That's right.
Well, we're out in the woods with the lions.
So then I am right. Their demands are just going to get worse.
Unfortunately, yes.
Never satisfied.
Would you... I hate to teach somebody how to kill people if they don't want to. And it's a terrible thing to do.
She looks at you and you see something fiery in her reddish-brown eyes. A very steely glance that you've seen, that Grugan has definitely seen before, especially in young people, as she says, "Oh, I do want to kill them."
Alright then. Let me show you how. And he's gonna give her tips how to stab somebody with a dagger.
So Duck will help too because she mainly uses the dagger for combat.
And Munch Air will offer a tip every now and then.
All right. You train this young woman in how to murder people with edged weapons.
Oh, she definitely
Yeah.
wants to, so,
I mean,
Yes, she
She
does.
ran into-
No, I'm laughing more at the audacity of me making this a plot point.
she ran into 3 former soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
One of them
Also-
is very angry about her story and is going to help her kill all these men.
Yeah.
Because Duck was like, oh, sorry.
You're good. Also, these are the worst kind of British. Are they really human at this point?
No,
These
yeah.
fuckers voted for Brexit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Duck would have been. It's like, okay, what you do is we wait for night. You give me the key, and I'll take handle it.
And she gets a perhaps slightly disquieting look of hope at you saying that. She's like, "It's exactly what I needed. If there's more than one of us doing it, then we're less likely to get caught with one of them waking up or something."
Duck kind of like makes a flinch and then looks to Gergen and goes, "Well, I mean, if it was, someone wakes up to find a goblin slitting everyone's throat, they won't go after the townspeople."
I'm hard to miss.
I don't want them to actually be going after your people, though. I mean,
Oh, they're
Oh,
going
they
to
are. They
anyway.
already are. This would at least maybe slow him down a bit.
Besides that, I'm not going to just sit here and hear you tell me that sort of story and walk by without doing anything about it just because I don't want people to know I'm here. It's not the sort of person that I want to be.
Thank you. I'm sorry. It was rude. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Johanna Dupree,
It's nice to meet you.
and she
Johanna.
offers a hand for you to shake.
Big, meaty, hooved hands, yes. Groovin. That's the most awkward
Waves.
handshake.
Waves, I'm Duck.
Unfair.
So,
Well, this isn't the help I was expecting, but thank you so much.
of course.
Oh no, sorry. I just had a dumb joke. Monsieur thinking to myself, okay, I guess I was needing a grocery run.
Oh my god. Well, that's what's happening, yeah. The bodies have to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they gotta get
Dave.
cleaned up.
They've requisitioned our flooding shelter. It's high on a hill, with a steep rock base. I will keep the back door open. Meet me there. Midnight, when the moon is in the center of the sky.
You're not gonna get hurt, are you?
No, perhaps pinched a bit, but that's been the usual for the last several days.
Tell me who's been pinching and I'll make sure they don't have fingers left.
Pretty much all of them.
All fingers go to you, Monsieur.
Finger food.
That's our first T-shirt for this campaign. All fingers go to Monsieur.
God.
Get that at our Teespring, but it doesn't exist. We're on Redbubble or whatever the fuck.
Doesn't exist yet.
I'm not making that.
So Johanna thanks you all profusely, and then heads back off where she went with a slightly more spring in her step, as any young woman have when she plans to commit mass murder.
Well, she has a good excuse for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At some point, I assume your two Humie friends return.
Why they gotta be humies?
Yumi and Boney.
You mean, but
He might be dead, but he's still a Humie.
So it's gonna go up to Art.
Ah, there you all are.
Art's gonna just have a stitched together bedroll. Like, here you go. I got a little creative on the way over here, so it fits you.
Good. We're going to go into town at midnight and kill a bunch of people.
Say
Like-
what now?
Like going back to that town, pointing the direction they came from, and killing a bunch of people.
Hold on.
Yep.
Why are we getting involved in any of this? This isn't what we're doing, right? Right?
Yeah,
All of
slow
those
man.
soldiers are taking advantage of the fact that there are young ladies in town that they can force to do whatever they want.
We heard. They weren't quiet.
It's a consequence of war, right? It's not our place to get involved, right? Right?
If you don't want
Oh,
to,
we'd be
you
doing
don't
this.
have to, but I am going to.
Yeah, same.
Hey, well,
Unfortunately, Flavor, sometimes war is sneaking in and under the dead of night and cutting every throat that you can find.
well,
I'm down for it. Sounds about right. Got a quick question. Can I scare somebody? I've wanted to do that since I woke up.
Well, I don't see why not.
Well,
We're gonna feed all our fingers to Moncher, so
you're only going to draw all the attention of those soldiers elsewhere to us, right?
I mean, we're already on the run.
How are you even going to get into town, yeah? You will just stick out like sore thumbs.
That's why I said
Sounds like
sneak
you
in.
have. Oh, sorry. Go, sir.
No, it's just that's why I said we sneak in under dead of night.
We got a better thing, don't we, bud?
What are you trying to hide?
All right. Well, we just so happen to get some handy pieces of equipment for the three of you. And I guess, honestly, for you as well, Art.
1 second, BRB.
That's fine. By the way, any of y'all know a feller named Sparrow?
Not, I mean, back in Fairyland, yeah. Some of my siblings.
Good news and bad news.
But
Good
you
news,
have to,
he's not.
You have to know there are a lot of sparrows. There are a lot of ducks among goblins. Just saying.
Yeah,
There
that's a
is-
fairly common name.
That's fair. There is a hobgoblin named Sparrow. who
Okay, yeah,
wants-
my sister, she's a goblin, not a hob.
fair enough.
Art, are you over there assuming all fairies are related? How could you?
No.
If a goblin or hobgoblin gets named Sparrow by their parents, it's because they have a very sweet, friendly temperament that their parents hope they never lose. If a hobgoblin is named Duck by their parents, it means that they're very good at swimming and their parents hope they never lose that talent.
No, he just said he had a sister named Sparrow, and we met a fella named Sparrow. I wasn't sure. I don't know Duck's family all that well. I've only just met Duck.
Yeah, well, anyway, this Sparrow fella, they passed us over some equipment to have a glamour spell for you all.
that's helpful.
Yeah, they just want us to give them a shout when we find a safe haven for them. That's like the sweetest deal I think I've ever seen. Talk about a sucker.
Well, do they want to go back to Fairyland?
Yeah, it didn't
They-
seem like that was on their mind.
There is where the rest of the orcs went. It's fairly close.
Guess I just assumed that they were aware of that point.
Well, we can tell them later.
I guess you'll be able to slip into town now, so it should be easier for you to tell them. Be careful, I guess, if you're gonna use it in your little murder plot. Assassination plot. Wait, I'm sorry. What's assassination? I'll give you that.
No, it's murder.
Straight murder.
Assassination is when the person has political power. The victim, specifically.
Fair.
Says God.
Why is that
The
line
god
talking
of
to us?
definitions has spoken, and then I fly off on a nimbus cloud.
Damn owls.
On a light note, I feel that the glamour works the way Dragon Age Morrigan's transformations into animals work, where it's basically it gives you a human sona. If you are already human, it makes you look like a living version of yourself with a funny mustache.
Does this mean we need human sprites for the three of us now?
You don't need it, but I do think it would be fun art jam to imagine what everyone's human sonas look like.
Also, would Art just look like himself in life?
Yes, but with a funny mustache. Or if he had a funny mustache without the funny mustache.
Oh no, it's a mirror goatee.
If he had a normal mustache, it's now a funny mustache. But it looks sort of like his normal mustache, just funnier.
Art activates his glamour, and he's like, "Why do I have a mustache that feels like it should be in something lewd?"
He got the Mont Blanc stash.
The 70s stash.
Rocking the 70s stash again, baby.
I was imagining more full Eggman, but I'll take a 70s stash.
No, we can go full Eggman. I'm fine with that. I just had
No,
the
you can no. I like the porn stash idea. That's also funny in a different way.
No idea what Dugan would look like, but I'm taking all the ideas, I guess.
Real funny if Grugan was a twink.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Dux would
It's
still
like-
be a short woman.
Your human sona is much like a fursona. It doesn't have to be like a direct reflection of your normal body state. A lot of people, their fursonas are like an idealized body, or like something completely different to better facilitate their fetishes or what have you. So your
I wanna
human
ask-
sona doesn't have to be like a human version of you. It's the human you would fantasize about being.
It's our human sonas.
I don't know
Yes.
if I can take that.
Although I'm just waiting for someone to ask Duck, "What's your fursona?"
This is my fursona. It's a human.
Mm.
No, it's like, "Oh, what's your fursona?" Duck, no, Manticore. What's wrong with you?
See, for a human skin sona, that'd be called a skinny then.
No, no.
All right. So, well, if we're gonna get rid of all those knights, then I think there's a way we can work this. Get all the rest of the town to be thankful for us for it. There was actually some pretty nice things around town. Maybe they'll reward us with it.
That's actually a good idea.
Well, not a bad idea. I'd still do it even if, we didn't. But still, very close.
What's the point of doing something if
Oh my
there's not a
God.
reward?
No, I mean, if they don't offer a reward, I can get us a reward, but,
It's also true. I'm honestly planning on taking all the things that the soldiers have.
As you should.
although if we really want to, think of this as a war campaign, the best idea would be to give the armor and arms to the town folks so they can prepare to reinforce for the next wave.
It's also not a bad idea.
Yeah, honestly, a really good idea.
I think that would make sense. Also, I'm putting on my weird dead skeletal armor because I think the glamour covers my clothes as well, and I have a funny bit I want to do.
Moncher just wordlessly puts on his glamour, and instead of just person, it's just someone wrapped up in a bunch of cloaks and whatnot, with the funny mustache still present.
The most Eggman out of all of them. Someone's gonna be Eggman. All right. Well, if we're ready to get in the shit,
ready to murder.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Oh God, she's a giant.
you fool! We're all giant. Midnight falls. The town. All the lights go out in the town as nightfall, as dusk hits, and people go to bed even at the flood safe house.
Just huge.
Necessary thing. Eventually, you find Johanna waiting for you at the back door, and she lets you in and brings you to a room where several knights lie sleeping. Despite me reusing their sprites, they are not sleeping in full armor. But in night clothes, plain white, simple cotton, not very good at defending you against edged weapons.
Okay.
Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us, I think. If I'm doing the math right. We could all take a side and clear out a room, and then if the others wake up, they'll see us.
So who gets? Hey.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. So
Okay, I'll go here. You go there.
Well, when you moved it over here, I had also moved her there, but I had to take it out. So it's like, oh my god, Monchair's chasing me.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, oh shit, let me just go ahead. Oh.
So
Let's start cutting.
we're gonna have to roll some stealth checks.
Oh god, I'm
Um,
so bad at these.
to make sure that we get rid of these guys without waking up the whole platoon. Because all it takes is one guy to wake up mid-stab screaming, and suddenly you've got a bunch of other people rushing for their weapons.
Yeah.
There's the rolls. Okay.
And it's gonna have to be individual. For each one of you that's killing a dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's a discretion.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. I mean, unless you can justify using different stats. Like, if you're thinking, my character isn't just using dexterity, but also specifically, like, their insight to sort of judge things, or, like, just might to really make sure they get the job done quick.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and use some Fabula points, or a Fabula point to re-roll those d6s.
By the way, what experience should we be at? Just 5?
I think we
I
were a
know we
little bit.
spent Fabula points last time, but I can't remember how many.
I think it was like. I think we used 2 or 3 last time.
We'd be at like 7 or 8.
Yeah. What do we want to go with? Let's go 7.
Yeah, that sounds about enough. Okay. Johanna kills hers quietly, utilizing all the methods that her newfound friends taught her, with great efficiency. She's apparently a very good learner when it comes to killing.
I rolled a 12, but I don't know why I rolled twice. That was an earlier roll.
I'll take the 12.
Well, no, that 8 was when I was trying to hide from Johanna when she ran out into the woods.
Oh, makes sense. Oh yeah, so yeah, I'll take it. Go ahead and kill your guy. Moncher, are you using a Fabula point?
I might as well. How many Fabula points are we at right now?
3? That's what I have marked on mine, but I
3
I
is
think
what
you
I've
gain
also
3
got.
at the beginning of a session.
At the start of the campaign, I think.
Is that the start of the
Yeah.
campaign?
Okay, so I'd have 7. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would
use-
reroll.
Yeah.
You can use it to reroll either one or both, but you have to say which before. So I'd reroll your 3.
Yeah. And let's see. What do I do for the roll? What's the number? A D20?
oh,
No,
if you put your cursor over the result number, it'll show you what you were rolling.
Okay, a D10. All right. Let me riggedy roll.
Oh my god.
Grugan, despite using that point rerolling, you fail your discretion. Well, Cher, you fail your discretion. And Flavian, you fail your discretion. You do manage to kill the knights you're next to. But the others wake up.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
In the haste, Moncher is just going to attack another one.
We're gonna roll initiative.
Okay.
As we're gonna square up a little bit here. I'm just gonna reposition people willy-nilly as per my idiom.
where is initiative? Move spaces again, I think.
It's
No,
under
initiative
stats.
is under stats, yeah. Or the hit points. and
Oh,
stuff.
there it is.
Yeah, that makes enough sense to me. Now, plus side, these knights have significantly lower defenses, which is to say their defense and magic defense are 0 respectively because they are in their knight clothes. But they did manage to grab their weapons while you were killing their mates.
Okay. Yo, cool.
And I can start with this.
All right.
So, Savian's trigger finger, he's just gonna shoot at this knight.
Which knight? Okay, yeah. One of the dipshit
Multicolored
face. Gotcha.
500 pings on it.
He sees into the void, and all he sees is color.
That hits. It does a significant chunk of damage. One of the knights is going to try to hit while wearing disguises. Who's gonna look the most intimidating?
Fucking looks like a twink right now.
Yeah, there's Twink Grugan. I think he's gonna hit the big mysterious guy with the lots of scarves. You never know what a big mysterious guy might be capable of doing. All right, so
Would he look like he's carrying 2 shields instead of the wings? Like a guardian?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's your armor class?
My armor class is a 15.
So no. All right, you're good.
Sweet. Can I retaliate?
Yeah.
Okay. Bada bing, bada booey. And I'm hitting the one that just attacked me if that hits.
That hits. Their defense and magic defense is 0. I'm fairly certain that means you are guaranteed to hit. Okay. Another one's gonna try to hit Grugan.
No.
Fails.
Nuts. I don't get to counterattack because it's not an even number.
Sechi's life. Yeah, one of you gets to go.
Who wants to
Should I try my spell?
do it?
They don't have
Gotta
armor.
use-
Just make them.
And I'm doing up to 3 of them, the 3 in the front row.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this guy's dead now.
That black fire.
And the others, they're
blackish
looking-
purple.
Real ragged. Duck, make a double insight check.
Oh boy.
So
No.
close. Never mind.
9.
Don't worry about it. Okay,
No.
don't worry about it.
Do I want to roll? Should I roll Fabio the
No.
point?
You're fine. One of the mace guys tries to hit you, Duck. Does 11 hit?
No.
Misses completely. These guys are fighting like they just got out of bed.
How weird.
How strange and unusual.
Like Duck said, besides stabbing someone on the back, it's safe as stabbing someone while they're asleep.
Do, 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 do.
I'm gonna, if nobody minds, I'd go.
Yeah,
Unless
go
you
ahead.
wanna do your fun shit with.
Oh, I can do my fun shit after you go. You're fine.
Okay. Let's do. Let's attack this guy, just because.
Yeah, that hit him real good. All right. Mace guy's gonna scream and attack Grugan because Grugan just beat the shit out of one of his pals. Does 13 hit?
It actually does.
I think I have a better defense than you do.
You take 18 damage. Goddamn. That guy does not like getting up early.
How much damage was that?
18.
18.
Oh, okay. Out of my 65.
Yeah, that would have bloodied me right away.
It's fine. I have ways to deal with that.
Okay.
Flavian and Art, I think, are left.
If you want
Also
to go
Joanna.
ahead, if you want to go ahead, Flavian, you can.
Okay, just gotta wait for. Okay, I'll just close that. Go back up. My character sheet being a little slow. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he's just gonna shoot that same knight as before, I think.
Do, 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 do. You killed him. Good job. Shieldy's turn.
Yeah.
Does 9 hit Flavian? Nine hit you, buddy?
Oh, did I not come through?
No.
I didn't hear you.
Oh.
You are coming through now.
9 doesn't hit me.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, I'm assassinating here.
Oh, they have political power!
Okay. Okay.
Oh wait, no, I have a
Um,
defense of 17, not my magic defense is 11. Fuck. Never mind.
So if it's my turn, I'm gonna do a fun little cinematic, but I'm gonna roll first because if I goof it, I want to goof it my way. So I'm gonna roll an intimidate.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a fabula point to re-roll the intimidate. Because that just woof. Let's see if it's better. It is not better. So I imagine Art's trying to like walking up to do like a big whole thing this way, slips on the bottle and falls on his face.
See, I feel like you do exactly what you intended to do. It's just that you're doing it without taking off your glamour. So it's just a normal guy trying to act spooky.
Fair enough.
All right. One of them tries to attack Grugan. Because that twink hit hard. Does not hit because you're a defense of 17.
Yeah, because I'm an
That twink's
Um,
gonna obliterate you.
And as he attacks, you all hear a sound of fire igniting behind you. And Johanna, who had backed away, is clutching her knife very tightly as sparks begin to fly from her hand along the blade. And she's gonna make an attack. And she's gonna re-roll one of those. Actually, I'm gonna re-roll both of those. That sucked. I'll count it. Okay. Oh wait, why am I re-rolling? They have like no defense right now. That was stupid. Point being, she slashes one of the knights, and the slash wound lights a flame.
Look at you, lass.
She says nothing as she is almost possessed with murderous intent. I'm gonna re-stagger these lines now. Oh, is there a way to do this that makes sense, William? Yeah, there is actually. Hey, there we are. Two remaining knights see a woman just sort of light a flame and freak the fuck out. One does strike Johanna, and does 17 damage, which is pretty bad. Wow, they're beating up this woman. Well, I guess that's on brand. And that's the end of the round. Let's go to the next one. We started with them, didn't we? So yeah, one of them's gonna go again, and Jesus Christ. They've got Johanna pretty close to 0. So now it's one of your guys' turn.
Anyone got healing?
No, but I could try softening up some more of them or taking out the most hurt ones with another Umbra.
Yeah, take out the frontliners here.
Who
Yeah.
are the
Like,
three most hurt looking?
The front.
Everyone on the front line took your shadow thing, so they're all in crisis.
Okay.
Basically,
So
like, and I think this guy got hit too. These 3, I think, have been left unscathed so far.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll take the 2 and this guy. Nice little grouping there.
Nice.
Oh, wrong one.
All right.
And it's just this blackish purple flame.
As you cast a magic spell that creates a clearly magical flame, the fires coming out of Johanna's now very bleeding right arm begin to grow. One of the knights decides that they're basically attacking whoever attacked them last right now, and goes to attack you, Duck. Is 12 hit?
No,
All right, they fucking whiff.
nimble little thing.
Short queens, rise up.
Yeah, she does just look like a short, portly, like farmer woman, like a fishwife or something.
If no one minds, Moncher is going to go.
Go, Moncher.
Okay. I'm gonna hit or go for this guy and just try to bash him in.
Oh, he did.
Just runs up and decks him into the roof.
One guy goes for Moncher, fails. Your turn.
If nobody minds, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Sure.
You watch him lift his axe like he's going to bring it down, but it just kind of glitters on the edge of it, and he's gonna cast a spell.
Oh,
Ooh. Well, their defense is 0 right now, so
yeah, oh shit.
Yeah, he's gonna
All
he's
right.
gonna hit this guy.
That guy is dead.
So that was. So I just took all of that health back that he took off of me.
you magnet pulled his blood out of his body.
It
I
didn't really
think I've
look
got.
like anything. It just kind of looked like black lines raced out of him and
If
into
I'm-
his blade and into his hand.
I guess I'm right. You guys just killed the ones who hadn't acted yet. So, everyone who hasn't gone, it's your turn, I guess.
All out attack time.
That's
It's the 3 humans.
Right.
three humans.
Okay.
I will just shoot at the halberd one.
Yep. And it's shieldy.
Had to leave him for last.
He looks the most
please,
terrified.
He looks like he's thinking.
I just wanted to
shit.
grow French women.
Absolutely downright despicable, mate. And I think at this point he's just gonna attack because there's only one guy left.
Fuck yeah. And Johanna finishes him off by slitting his filthy throat. Which means congrats, you killed a bunch of sleeping men.
We sure did.
That,
I do
that
like
those
music
that.
weren't normal
plays
men.
as we
Those weren't
stand over
innocent
the
men.
corpses.
Those were not innocent men. They were sleeping at the time, though. All right. You are in a room full of corpses.
And a woman on fire.
Yep. Very bloodied, panting. Slowly the fire recedes into the blade of her knife, and disappears.
Going to hand her a remedy from my equipment and take a elixir for myself.
She takes it. Restores her pretty much close up to full, I think. Yeah. And she's not verbal at the moment, but she pats you on the shoulder and thanks.
Some fancy fighting, lass. I don't know why I suddenly went Scottish.
Don't worry, I've been going into English on and off, but I've been like bouncing on which dialect in particular. Don't feel too bad.
You went Australian for killing that guy at the end.
Oh, I totally
can
went
definitely-
Australian for that.
I feel like you've been channeling a lot of Liverpool. It
It's
feels very Beatlesy sometimes.
It happens.
Who can stay consistent?
Oh wait, ET. Is
Yeah?
the Medgeheim version of Liverpool Kidney Pond?
Oh, it should be. Send that to me in a message so I can remember to put that in my notes later.
Okay.
Kidney pond.
Pretty sure that's where all the goblins hang out.
Oh
I
god.
feel like
The
I'm not sure.
Goblin Beatles.
I'm not sure if it makes sense geographically, but I feel like the Liverpool part of Bretance is in Galfredius, the Celtic inspired kingdom. Or the part of the kingdom that's inspired by the way Celtic mythology intermixed with British folklore. Yeah. Johanna stands looking first at the corpses, but then at the knife, and she's like, I was so worried about this, but it was distressingly easy.
That's the worst part about it.
First life's always the hardest, but it's always easier than you think. Also, I don't think I've been properly introduced. Art Baker, pleasure to meet you, Miss.
Johanna Dupree. Thank you all for helping me.
Save your town from a complete riot of gets.
Yeah. I was having trouble wording it in a way that didn't come off as cavalier about human life.
Well, you know, they were fairly cavalier about everyone else's life. So, yeah,
They were just. Me and Flavian were in town, and they're a complete rot of shit. They won't be missed.
Well, it's
Yeah, you can say we've done this town a huge favor. A huge favor.
Stop trying to. She's processing the death. Stop trying to make money off of her. Give her a second.
now. I'm unsure. Help me strip these guys.
On it.
So
They're
start
already in their
pulling the-
skivvies. What do you want?
Oh wait,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you're right. They are. So it's like, hey, Monsieur, let's go find their armory.
All right.
Okay. Unfortunately, all of these soldiers so far seem to be grunts, and they don't have anything beyond the basic bitch gear that you get at the beginning of Fabula Ultima. Although you can get as much of that as you can carry, to resell if you would like.
Which we would
Yes.
like.
Yeah,
Actually,
literally count the bedrolls. You also find between their collected persons, again, count the bedrolls math-wise, but each of them had
13.
about 200 zenit on their person. So fairly good payday.
13 bedrolls. Dang. So that was 200 each, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That's 2,600 to divvy up.
Yep.
But was also thinking of going to Johanna and saying, now, the rest of your town might be able to use these to prepare a militia for the next wave that come, because they're going to be coming back.
Flavian watches Duck and is just completely flabbergasted and fuming inside.
I think this might have been after we traded them in. Or, well, no. This wouldn't be. Yeah, this would be. It's just.
She looks at you while holding, in particular, a breastplate, which her eyes go wide at with a longing that she herself was not aware of. And before she can respond, you hear trumpets sounding not too far away. And someone shouting, "What ho! Wake up, lads! Reinforcements!"
It's time to leave this building.
Never.
Johanna looks at all the corpses, looks at the five of you. Shit. You have to run. Do you know the city of Cabernet?
Vaguely its direction.
It's just up a ways.
I've
Right?
heard of it.
My family lives there. My father, my mother, stepmother. We're supposed to. The law says that we're supposed to state family relations very clearly, but she's been with my father for 10 years, and she's like a mother. And my sister, half sister, they live on a house on the hill in Cabernet. Go to them, tell them Johanna sent you, and they will give you shelter. I will meet you there in time.
What are you thinking here, lass?
If they see you all doing this, and if they catch you, that gives their cause strength. They can say that goblins killed their men. But if a Frankish woman takes credit, one who knows this area well and how to evade them, then that credit isn't there anymore.
I'm looking how you think.
I will lead them on a merry chase. You get to Cabernet, you get out of this town, and I will meet you there as soon as I am able.
You take care of yourself.
I will. And she looks around, and she, despite really not wanting to, she cracks a smile, and she's like, "Is it wrong that this gives me hope for the first time in a very long while?"
No.
Nope.
It's not.
Sometimes hope is your hand around the handle of a knife.
All right, Cabernet, house on a hill. There are there's a fence around the house, and there are 2 trees at the front where a gate would be. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
And do any of you know the Ballad of the Black Knight?
Do we?
We can find it out.
No, it's just if you know how to sing it, my half sister really loves it, and I haven't been to see her in a while, and I'm sorry. Okay, I have to go. And she runs out of the front of the building, and shouts, "Here, you Breton pig dogs! I slaughtered your men like the hogs they are! My only regret is that I did not feed their corpses to the dogs, so their widows would have no bodies to bury!" And then takes off running as a bunch of knights tromp after her on horseback.
Good luck, little legend.
Alright. Let's not linger.
No.
She's certainly passionate.
So, Flavian, where was that tent you said had really good weapons? I'll be right back.
Do we have time for that?
I don't know.
Give me a double insight check. And I'm going to say, Duck, you can have +5 advantage on this for being an opportunistic thief that knows how to take advantage of chaos.
So, double insight or
Double
Double
insight +5.
Okay.
If you get 12 or above, I will allow you to loot that place. I will allow you to
Wait,
loot one
what?
tent.
What?
Oh, I messed up because I did the modifier thing, so that would have been an 8. I'm going to use a fabulous point to re-roll that 1.
Okay.
So 13 plus 5.
18.
That's enough. That's enough. So you get to pick one
And-
tent to loot.
I'm going to go for the one that had all those weapons.
Fuck yeah, get those weapons.
Yeah, and I'm going to leave. Not going to stand up to scrutiny at all. I'm just going to scrawl and say compensated for the Bretonche War effort. And go scurrying back out.
All right, there you go. Well, one more travel interlude. Actually, we'll do it over here. One more interlude. Well, not interlude. One more travel scene. So make another travel roll as we go along the forests of Ardennes, having escaped the reckoning with the heroes.
The travel roll.
So you roll a d10. It'll be different things depending on the danger of the area you're traveling through, the wilderness in particular. But right now we're in a medium level danger, so it's a d10.
Who wants to roll?
You go ahead. It's
Are we gonna split the items?
Yeah, I was gonna.
Now that I look at them, they kind of seem tailored to each of us.
Yeah, Soul Spear. The Soul Touch
Oh,
Spear to Art. I'll take the dagger. I think the looting crossbow goes to Flavian. I wonder who the axe and the shield go to.
I wonder.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Take that fucking axe.
Damn straight.
I'll take the seam splitter dagger.
I may have looked at your character sheets to get some ideas for things that could be useful.
I'm gonna put my journal notes.
I feel that's Final Fantasy though, because I was playing bits of Final Fantasy VIII when my computer died, and I was like, they do find a way to make sure that there's something useful for everybody in each town. I mean, everybody who's going to be at said town, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got did we get a 6 on the dice?
No, that
On the
was my
travel roll.
okay. Reroll for the fabulous. No one's rolled yet.
Yeah. Well, if no one's rolled it, then I guess I'll just do it. Oh, so close. Once again, no random encounter. And no secret encounter either. Damn. Okay. Night falls in your travel from between Bordeaux and Cabernet. And it has been a while since you all have had a decent night's sleep. Do you want to use one of those bedrolls?
I'll take a sleep.
Yeah, it's probably a good time to rest.
Mm-hmm.
We'll recover HP, MP, and IP. And I think it also allows you to have an interlude scene, if I remember right.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So if anyone would like to form a new bond, or add to an existing bond, or modify a bond, you may do so.
Okay.
I'm gonna add one to Giovanna.
Same.
I'm gonna add admiration for Duck. Those were some sticky fingers back there. I like it.
Oh, thank you. I mean, we got to get every advantage we need. Plus, I've been itching. I messed up trying to steal from you, so I had to make up for it.
And you did owe me for that potion I gave you in the one of those our previous battle in the Orc Village.
Yes.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. Now we're even. For now.
Doc makes a mental note that you were keeping track.
It's really funny to me that like I hate greed in real life people, but in fictional characters, it's so fucking funny.
Basically, yeah.
It's like, oh, you scamp. In real life, I'd punch you in the nose, but in fiction, it's delightful.
So did we leave all the armor behind though for the village, or did we?
I will say, I mean, there were more than just 13 knights there, so I would say that you left a good chunk of knight armor, but I will allow you to get the 13 sets from the ones that you personally that you slaughtered in combat with rolls.
Okay.
I don't want you to feel unrewarded for doing that.
We can sell it in Cabernet and tell them that, here, we have insider information that you're going to be needing this soon. It's a worthy investment.
Yeah, maybe. Anything else to do in this interlude?
I'm going to put in admiration for Johanna first. And then I'm going to sit here and try to remember if I know the Ballad of the Black Knight.
I'll allow you to do either a double insight or a double willpower or a mix of both. Because willpower is also sort of the charisma stat of this, and I feel like remembering poetry and songs can be argued to be charisma based.
Yeah, I have a higher. I took the one where you get 2 10s and 2 6s. And
So those are both your 6s?
One of my 10s is actually insight.
Oh shit, nice.
So I'm going to use recall. I'm going to use a fabula point. Damn it.
Just racking up our fabula point
A
experience.
lot of them
We don't
use
fucking
this
them.
game.
Let's see,
This song is from Chrono Trigger.
So
11.
11. Okay. Ballad of the Black Knight, fairly popular and famous Breton ballad of a hero from the war that was retroactively called the First Goblin War, though most people are quick to note that it really wasn't a war against goblins, it was a war against a human witch warlord. And specifically focusing on a mythologized, possibly fictional hero called the Black Knight, which can basically just translate to any soldier who does not swear fealty to a given king. It's a story about the knight traveling with his squad of warrior women who all have their own unique backstories, and getting caught up in the struggle of the First Goblin War, and killing the Dark Lord Morkill, and destroying the original capital of Engelsex. But it's more than that. It's a romance, and it has a very rip-roaring tune, and it's been beloved enough that it's been translated into several languages, and also retold and remixed and edited. The number of warrior women and the nature of the warrior women changes from ballad to ballad. Which warrior woman the Black Knight gets with, if any, changes from ballad to ballad. But it's popular, especially in Amorigal, and because Amorigal really loves those romantic knight ballads. Even when they're imported from Bretons. And it has sort of the Ballad of the Black Knight. He fights for what's good and right. Da 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 da. Sort of chorus.
So you kind of just see Ruben sit at the fire and Like he's trying to recall words and he's mumbling under his breath. If you get close enough, you can tell that he's practicing singing for Johan's sister.
All right. Any other business before we move on to the next scene?
I think I'd like to form a bond of loyalty to Johan. 'Cause Art didn't know who she was before we went in. It was just, hey, we're gonna go murder these knights, and he was like, all right, sounds like a plan. And this
I should pronounce it right. It's a German variant of a French name, but it's pronounced the French way, so it's Johanna, not Johanna.
Johanna.
Yeah. Because I was looking it up, and there are lots of variants of the name Joan, and Johanna is the German variant of Joan, and Joan is the main French variant. But apparently, Johanna came back to France at some point, and was pronounced as Johanna. Of course, since it's France, they never pronounce any of the fucking consonants anyway, so it'd be more like but nonetheless, it should be a J sound when it's a French version of Johanna rather than a Y sound for a German. So it would be Johanna, and quite likely shortened to Joan. And it might be annoying to others, but it's very circular that way. But I think that's fucking hilarious, and that's why I chose it. That and because it makes her a Persona 5 reference. All right, so yeah, bond of loyalty to Johanna.
I put admiration from mine to hers because Duck, while it was like, probably a bad thing we're teaching this, teenager how to kill, I admire her gumption to being dedicated to it and needing to do what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. She's 18 or so. She's fine. She's of marrying age.
Yeah.
That's the right time to learn when to kill a man.
I mean, it was the right time to kill a man.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, Moncher will add a bond of affection of like a teacher seeing a student being like, "They're all grown up. They're murdering."
My little baby's all grown up and saving Francaine by slitting men's throats.
Maple Samurai. Dark Chivalry is a dating sim confirmed.
Dark Chivalry is Dark Chivalry would be a dating sim if it was a game, and if it was an anime, it'd be a harem comedy.
Oh no.
Tenchi Muyo style. I have class.
Yeah. I knew immediately.
All right. If that wraps up our business, before dawn breaks, you wake up and you start your journey, to finish your trip to Cabernet, when smoke wafts across your nostrils. And you crest a hill to see a city on fire.
Not again.
Human settlement this time. You do see a house on the hill with 2 trees outside the gate, and it is burning.
I need to figure out how to make her sprite small because Duck being the same size as Grugan is not right.
So what we can do is get like a square box for her in Clip Studio or whatever, and then just shrink her down so that there's a good amount of headroom above her. I've done this to figure out how to make kid sprites not be gigantic and indiscernible from human adult sprites, other than the giant size of their heads. So it's doable.
So they don't look like Billy Quizboy.
Yeah, so we don't have Master Billy Quizboy in the fucking
Perry Jeremy out here.
All right. So you find a house on fire. There's a side entrance that's surrounded by fire. There's a window surrounded by fire. and there's a door that's been burst open, and you can see people have stepped through and gone out here at the Dupree home. Specifically,
Are
the
you guys in your
footprints you see.
glamours?
Yeah.
Specifically,
I
the
figure-
footprints you see are knightly boots. That's all I want to say.
I figure we were in our glamours as we were approaching the town.
All right, I'm gonna
Makes sense.
run in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk with a dinosaur. There's 3 doors, one to this room. Oh, I should click it. One to this room, one to this room, one to this room.
I'm going up.
Monchair will go this way.
Okay.
Of course, you're all rushing into a burning building. Eh.
You can stay outside if you want.
Grugan, you find a living room hidden beneath this smashed table is the burning corpse of an adult man that was clearly trying to crawl out of the room despite the many wounds that have been gored into him by what looks to be a sword or dagger. Moncher, you find a little like washroom that's barely recognizable because the heat from the flames is intense and they are consuming this room very quickly.
Do I see anything of aside from
Not much of note other than just the fact that the door is blocked off by flame.
Okay.
Art, you enter the kitchen. Lying slumped in a corner next to the chimney is the dead body of a grown woman, stabbed repeatedly, left near the flames, which haven't quite caught to her yet, but very much not alive. And then you find a door to a bedroom. And inside this room, you see a bed that's been destroyed, several shelves stacked up against the corner, and you hear the sound of someone weeping as quietly as they can.
Hearing the weeping, Monchair is just going to rush in there towards it, trying to get the source out of there.
Art's probably going to come in behind just because it's like, oh no, a dragon's going after a kid in a burning house. That could have some bad connotations.
I mean,
Hey,
it could just
hey,
be a big-
it's a guy
yeah.
covered in scarves going after a child in a big
Right.
house.
The glamours
Yeah.
are on. I forgot. I thought I got used to the avatar. I was like, oh no, a dragon running after a child.
Dr. Eggman is going after his child. It's much better that way.
Oh,
No, that's so much worse.
How many times do I get to kidnap you?
The fucking long
One more.
arms reaching and grabbing this child. Just-
As you go for the kid, you realize that not only is she barricaded, but the fire is staying back.
Hmm.
are you Johanna's sister?
And she
Calling over the
looks up.
flames.
She looks up when she hears that name. John?
She sent us to find you. Looked at Grugan. I think that's your cue, buddy.
She said that you liked the Ballad of the Black Knight, and he's gonna start singing it in his horrible gruff voice.
And as she comes out, the flames sort of subside as she approaches. Like they try their best to avoid her. As she comes out wide-eyed, coughing, because ultimately the thing that kills most people in burning buildings isn't the fire itself, it's the smoke.
Mhm.
Wide-eyed, pale with fright, pink with extreme heat on this building that's becoming an oven. But full of hope. Is Joan here?
Not here, per se.
She will be. Let's get you outside.
Okay. We've can we save Mom and Dad?
Krugen's holding his breath and he's looking at everybody else like, don't leave me to fucking comfort the child.
Well,
I'm sorry. But we need to go.
With remarkable maturity for a 3-year-old, she very
that
clearly
young?
understands. Yeah, that young. She very clearly understands what you mean. And she takes your hand and allows you to silently lead her out of the burning building. The fact that you have to go by where Mom's body is sort of reconfirms what she doesn't need to have said. Flavian, get out of there!
You can't huff the smoke.
Maybe there's a profit to be get from smoke inhalation.
Oh god, he saw one of those. He saw one of those late night infomercials. If you are a loved one and have been affected by so and so, you're entitled to financial compensation.
He's like, I can run that.
All right, friends, you're in a burning city with a 3-year-old in tow. What's the game plan?
Mm.
Well,
So, all of Cabernet is in flames.
Yeah, you don't go too deeply into the very populated parts because that's where you see it bad. But as you travel along the outskirts trying to find someplace safe, you do see piles of bodies. Some of them are comprised of goblins and other boogeymen that must have been found within the city streets, but others are Frankish civilians. You can try to interrogate the 3-year-old to get some information, or I can allow you to make some checks if you'd like to justify something to try and figure out what exactly happened here.
Krugen has picked up the 3-year-old and he's put his hand over her eyes or like rolled her face into his shoulder and said, "Don't look at it."
And she clings to your glamoured twink body very tightly.
I forgot about that.
This
I hope
twink
this doesn't leave an
obliterates.
impression on this girl.
This twink sounds like he's been chain smoking for 500 years.
Could I do?
I knew some twinks who smoked a lot in high school and college. That's not as rare as you might think.
Yeah.
Could I do a recall to see if I remember from my old war days?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you a bonus to that because you're a Goblin War veteran, and the tactics have not changed that much. So, like, the point of a Goblin War is mainly to loot and find and like get a bunch of valuables from people who can't fend off an army. With the goblin thing being a pretense. But when they find goblins, they do try to exterminate them, or any other boogeyman. They do try to exterminate them, and it's clear that while searching this town, they found some goblins, and they started killing them. And the Frankish human neighbors decided that if it's about siding with these Bretonch thugs who are going to, loot our houses while killing our goblin neighbors, or our goblin neighbors, we stand with our goblin neighbors. And so Cabernet has been punished for that.
Cabernet was a good town.
Was.
Who said that? I can't be hearing voices. I'm already dead.
The masked man
Yep.
slides out of frame.
I was thinking of like a bullfrog, like in the Budweiser ads.
That
Like it just saying was.
Was.
Oh, was is one of Dux's cousins.
It angers me that Bud, Wise, and technically do fit my criteria for goblin names.
That's why I made that joke when we ran into a trio of goblins and you said that was their actual names.
Looks like they stood with their neighbors. Gotta give them credit.
It seems like this place has lots of good humans in it.
Yeah. I do not regret what we did.
Given that they probably went back to the other town? Yep.
Let's find this little one's sister.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, we should leave a sign that we've been there just so she knows she's not like dead somewhere. I'll go right back. And Art's going to run back over towards the burning house, stab his spear into the ground, and put his hat on it. And goes, that should do, and then runs back. I know what I'm doing. I swear.
All right.
A question for you. I don't want to control your role playing. How are you going to make certain that someone reads that as, "Hey, I was here," and not, "Hey, I burned this house down"?
Well, it's already Breton style hat, so they're going to think that. But Johanna probably, because he switched back to his old school stuff to try to do the spooky thing and failed miserably. It is very clearly funeral style for Franken's things. So hopefully Johanna will see that and go, "Oh, thank fuck, they got my sister." It's not like I can put a hand on it. Can I put a hand on it? Am I allowed to detach limbs?
You could just draw like an
Not
animal.
without me having to find some way to penalize you, like stat wise.
No, that's fair.
A single pinky bone.
I feel like you can't be allowed to just leave your arms off and not face some repercussion.
No, that's fine. I'm leaving my main weapon behind. We're already having the repercussions.
God, that'd be a fun bad RPG though, where it has like limb loss mechanics, but still allows you to go around like normal, and eventually your character is just like a floating potato.
Oh, jeez.
It'd be a pretty good video game, I think.
Just every battle, more parts of you get blown off until you're just a floating meat nugget that's still somehow able to have conversations and shoot guns.
So, fun fact, I've never played it, but there is a video game or a fighting game specifically, where that's the character's whole gimmick is they blow off their limbs and reattach them. Including
just
their
without the. Just without the. Is that Skullgirls? I feel like that's a Skullgirls thing.
Yes.
I know the
Yeah.
Splatterhouse remake. You can lose your arm and then pick it up and use it as a weapon to beat things with it.
Anyway, we have a traumatized child. No, that wasn't on you. That was on me. I was the author of at least 90% of those tangents.
So it's just an arrow drawn in the dirt. Spear, helmet, and it goes. Argo will reach under his thing and actually pull out the ratty, torn face mask so that if he didn't have his glamour, people would just straight up see his skull face. And he goes, I hope this works. I hope this gives the right message. This is why I was a corporal and never actually in charge of more than 5 people. Fuck. Runs back to catch up with everybody else. Art is not a smart man, but he's
You removed
clever.
you removed your glamour while doing all this?
No. He just took the face mask he's been wearing, which I assume pops up with the glamour,
Mm-hmm.
and just tied it with it.
Okay. So it's like you just pulled a scarf out of your chin.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Oh
Cool.
my god, we could use glamours to be street magicians.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is actually like. I mean, no, I'm not even pretty sure. I'm 100% certain that is in fact a thing that people do in Midgeheiim, because illusion magic is incredibly cost effective and a good way to wow people without actually having to invest too much actual resource in it. So a lot of low skill magicians practice, legerdemain, the art of magic illusions, to wow people and make a modest but very nice living for themselves. Anyways, you guys have a traumatized child.
We do have a drum.
Yeah.
I keep derailing it.
What was her name?
You didn't ask.
Okay, so hey Dugan, ask her what her name is.
What's your name?
She looks up at you, you gruff voiced twink. Very wide teal eyes. And she's struggling to form words, but her own voice is very, very raw, very raspy from the smoke inhalation. And you're not quite sure if she's saying a name or if she's saying mom. You just hear a very small, hoarse little ma sound.
Maud?
That's all right. And he's gonna again, just kind of guide her head into the crook of his shoulder and go, "We'll figure it out later."
And she rests her head on you. So you guys are in a burning village. What's your like? Are you gonna stay like amongst the fire? Are you gonna try to find a place that's safe? You gonna try to put the fires out?
If it's the entire town, we are only but a small force, and I don't know where a well is. Let's get out of town.
It has been raised pretty thoroughly. Yes.
We should return
Yeah.
the outskirts and wait.
Yeah, I don't see much point waiting around.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much we can do here.
All right. Dawn breaks as you reach the outskirts, the forest, and make a nice little quaint and well hidden camp where you can watch the fires burn and look for any visitors coming to town without being spotted. And you wait, and hours pass, and the sun climbs higher and higher into the sky. Eventually, the fires burn themselves out. The village of Cabernet is a ruin. Every building charred to the point of collapse and decline of structural integrity. Any citizens that were left in the city who had not escaped during the chaos, almost certainly not alive anymore at this point. Either consumed by whatever wounds were inflicted upon them by the army of knights that had marched through earlier, or consumed by the flames.
Is it too late to ever go back?
It would seem that the way to go would be to press forward. But you did make a promise to wait.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how long do you wait?
As long as we have to.
All right.
That could be months.
Um,
She's being chased down by an entire horde of knights on horseback.
the sun rises to the highest point in the sky and begins to fall. Dust settles. Night comes. You have a bedroll if you wish to use it, and you have a shivering 3-year-old child who has been mostly sleeping throughout the day and then very non-verbal.
I think Duck would go up at some point and go, "Hey, want something to, help you feel a little safer?" And Duck will take off her duck-billed helmet, which probably, even being a goblin, it probably is a little too big for a 3-year-old. But you'll plop it on her, or you hold it out to her.
It brings up a corollary question. Do you guys take off your glamours in front of the kid?
I think it might be safest if Duck does it first.
Probably not, given the last one called me ugly man.
No, I said Duck.
Oh, I know. I just mean for art. Art's just...
Yeah, Duck will. When she takes the helmet off, she'll drop the illusion.
And the little girl looks up at you as you reveal yourself to not be some midwife-looking, like middle-aged lady, but rather a goblin thief, or at least a goblin in thieves' clothes. I suppose you can't really judge a person by the outfit they're wearing.
Hmm.
And the little girl takes the helmet and she puts it on her head, which is like kind of consumed by the helmet. Like it's she's small, so it goes like it touches her shoulders without like her head touching the top. But she does look a little happier, as any kid who gets to wear a helmet would look.
Yeah, and Doc will say, "Okay, so that's really important to me. So it'll keep you safe if you keep it safe." Deal?
She nods, and then she points to the dagger at your side. Are you a bandit?
Not anymore.
Oh. So you're not like the bandit queen?
Does that sound familiar?
And then she begins singing off tune as a child would a verse of the Ballad of the Black Knight about one of the warrior women who was a bandit queen. With and it specifies the type of blade that she has, which you recognize as being specifically a shape that goblins excel at making, a sort of zigzag blade.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think so. Maybe.
Grugan's gonna see that she took seeing Duck fairly well, and he's going to put her down on the bedroll and back up. Do you want to see a trick?
She nods. Which I really do want you to have the image of like this tiny little child in a helmet for a roughly adult-sized person.
Even
Just
a goblin.
the yeah, goblins are roughly human size normally. A little bit smaller maybe, but like not significantly so. So this little kid's head inside a helmet that's at least built for a head at least twice, if not three times that size. And so that when she nods, it's this little tiny head nodding inside this big cavern of a helmet.
That looks like a duck bill.
Yeah, especially since the helmet the duck wears is like a really big, pronounced helmet with a huge bill.
He's gonna go. Oh, remember, this is just a trick. You don't have to be scared of me. And he's gonna drop the glamour.
And she doesn't look scared. She looks more enthralled. And she points to your armor to spikes.
Yeah, I have lots of spikes. And he's gonna hold out the arm gauntlets, which the spikes are dulled on, and he's gonna go, "You want to touch them?"
And she feels them, very very carefully around the points, but also very enthusiastically in the way of a child who's like, "Oh shit, I get to touch the really cool thing that the adults have."
He's gonna, as she's like enthralled with his armor, he's gonna look up at everybody else and go, "What should we do from here?"
I mean, ideally, we'd find Johanna.
But where could she have gone?
She was trying to leave the knights away from you, so probably in the exact opposite direction.
She might have gone into fairy territory on accident.
Could have gone into fairy territory, could have gone south, just kept running, could be captured. I think.
No.
Oh, go ahead.
Flavin, if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Oh no, that was it. A downer.
All we heard was like a meh.
I just heard a yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't know why it's
Yeah,
weird.
He-Man.
what is
Well,
we gotta investigate what our technology has against fucking New Yorkers.
Apparently. Look at you being the downer, Art.
Most technology companies are in California, and they hate New York.
It's nothing against being the downer, Flav, but it's also just like the longer we wait, the more towns they ravage, human and goblin alike. If we're gonna get anything done, we need to start thinking about getting up and moving again. They got a whole army, we got just us.
Grugan's gonna look back down to the little girl as she's playing with his gauntlets and go, "Hey there. My name's Grugan. I don't think I said that before. What's yours?"
She looks up at you, and She reaches out to touch your fur. Because kids can be polite, but sometimes they just can't help grabbing.
That's fine.
Big pig.
He allows it.
And like she takes a moment to think. Not as if she's forgotten it, but just as if like she's still processing what exactly is happening and the company that she's in. And you hear her peep out, Margot.
Margot. That's a very nice name. I have a very important question to ask you, Margot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have relatives otherwhere?
Just Joan.
Okay, Margot. He's looking at the rest of you like fucking.
Well, Margot, looks like you're coming with us. I'm Flavian, by the way, and unlike my companions, I am in fact just a human just like you.
Oh. That's boring.
Damn.
Oh, jeez.
Margot, oh my god.
Reiterate, I'm a kind of monster. I'm a capitalist.
Absolutely destroyed.
Flavian's just having a day.
So,
And she looks at her. Isn't he human?
Whatever. I don't need to appeal to some...
Yes and no, sweetie. I'll be keeping this face for you because it's less scary.
She looks at you and she gets angry, which is adorable on a 3-year-old.
with an oversized helmet.
Not a kid.
If she can handle my face, she can handle your face, Art.
Well, you didn't get called an ugly man by the last kid, did you? But fine.
Yeah, but that
You
was
prob-
an orc. They probably have different definitions of ugly.
All right. Now, you gotta promise me, Margot, no freaking out.
Putting on a very serious face, which again, fucking hilarious and adorable from a child of this age. She nods as if you've given her a life or death mission.
And he will deactivate the glamour, which will be probably the first full face reveal for the entire party, because both his helmet and face mask are no longer attached to his face.
She looks at you and gets a big, wide smile. And she says, "Skellington."
Little kids are excited by spooky shit.
Little kids are excited by spooky shit, but Art's
There's
just
one
like
thing
them.
I've learned from working in a daycare for 4 years. It's that children fucking love monsters, especially when they're friendly.
Yeah, I'm a skeleton. Skeleman. There's a word for it somewhere. I'm bones.
Bones! And that one, she says, pointing to Dr. Eggman.
Dragon.
And then she sort of toddles back and forth as if waiting for you to do the reveal.
And he just unceremoniously does it.
And she gets really excited, clenching her fists, and sort of just vibrates on the bedroll, and begins humming a song. You can do a double insight or an insight willpower or a double willpower to figure out what it is.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Double insight, you said?
Double insight or double willpower or a mix of the two.
Look at Duck and Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was able to roll my highest dice both of them times.
I just rolled good.
Yeah, those are also some of my highest dice. I just rolled like shit. I only have one
All right.
failure point. I'm leaving it.
If we get a 10 or above, you recognize it as another ballad, The Dragon and the Songbird, which is one of the rare ballads in Midgehheim, specifically coming from the kingdom of Herefordshire of Bretance. It's one of the rare ballads in Midgehheim about a benevolent dragon, specifically about a dragon that found a woman who was sacrificed to him on out in the woods, and was so charmed by her music that he took her in, and the two lived happily ever after as unconventional roommates.
My God, they were roommates.
They were roommates.
God damn it, Shady.
Okay.
And you do manage to successfully cheer this child up with the revelation that 4 out of her 5 rescuers are some flavor of monster.
Aw.
Which
Is it capitalist
child-
monster?
but she doesn't know that. She's 3. She doesn't understand how money works and how cruel and evil it is. Money is something that adults worry about. She worries about important things, like whether there's something under the bed that's going to eat her, which there definitely is.
I mean, not anymore. That's gone.
Bed's dead.
That was a little bleak.
But hilarious.
Wasn't she hiding underneath the bed when you found her?
She was hiding here. Well, you can't see the screen. She was hiding in a bedroom behind some bookcases that were made to block up where she was hiding. Which, thinking back, probably not something she could have moved herself. Kind of implies her parents did their best to keep her safe at their own personal expense.
Yeah.
Margo.
But if we're going to get moving again, we should probably leave a more proper message. I don't know if there's a good space to tack up a letter or something. But if we're going to keep moving or get moving, I want to go get my spear and my hat. It's my hat.
If there's anywhere to leave a note, just tell her that we're moving forward.
All right.
And do make note that Margot is safe with us.
Yeah.
So you return. I'm going to say you guys rest you sleep first, and you return in the morning to reclaim your spear and hat. And when you do, first of all, do you guys go as a group, or are we just sending Art out alone?
Art would not ask anybody to come with him, especially since if we all came out together, we would have to bring her, and that's just not a fun thing to start a morning off with. She's 3. Let her enjoy hanging out with some monsters.
Duck would go with.
All right, so Duck and Art, you return. The estate that you found, it was a upper middle class merchant house. fairly beautiful, fairly modern construction. What remains is a burnt-out husk of charred black wood and ruined stonework that barely resembles a house. Just a ruin that has collapsed in on itself from the heat of the flames. But your hat, your helmet, and your spear are perfectly intact.
Yep. I stuck him out front just because it's like, you know, gonna grab them real quick. Should we go find a good place to leave the letter?
I mean, yeah, I guess we could poke around and see if anything survived the blaze, but probably the best place would be, gesture at what's left of the door frame.
I agree. We want it to be the simplest place for her to look.
Flavian, when did you get here?
It's just trailing behind you.
I mean, yeah, my only concern is that means anyone else can take the letter. And do we need other people following us?
I mean, we're not.
Now, knowing how it works, they've already pillaged the town, burned the bodies, burned the village down. They're probably not going to come back, and it's likely that Joanna will come.
Yeah. The only people I really see coming here are either scavengers or Johanna herself.
Yeah.
Should we go poke around? See if there's anything we can rescue of Margot's.
Might not be a bad idea.
I'm going to need you to make insight dex checks to navigate the burnt interior of this mansion. Or this house. It's not that big.
Inside Dex.
Insight dex.
Darn.
Okay. This kind of does make sense to me in a strange way. That's your roll up there, Art, right?
Yep, the 11.
Okay. Art, the skeleton, manages to nimbly, by way of bending his undead body in unnatural contortions, make his way through the rubble. As soon as you start trying to creep your way through, and you're a thief, you're not exactly like the most clumsy, clunky person in the world. You feel how immensely unstable everything is. Things creak and groan. The precarious collection of broken wooden beams that held up the ceiling, as well as chunks of the ceiling, shift with every footstep. And you get about 3 feet in before you hear something creak and immediately back out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll cover you from here.
So, fair enough, man.
My luck.
No, I don't blame you. Dying's not exactly a fun time, and this would be kind of a bad death. So I guess.
Oh wait, you know what? Perfect time. I fumbled that.
Oh.
Oh no.
Might as well.
It is perfect. And horrible.
Extra fabulous points.
Okay.
I don't have my
as you're
helmet to protect from falling debris. Oh no.
Okay. You're gonna take 20 points of harm as a big chunk of the ceiling falls on you. And you hear the rest of the house beginning to collapse further. Art, you are further in the house. You're gonna have to make a double dex check to get out of there quick.
I am in crisis.
Oh boy. I'm glad I made all of my dice the same dice.
Oh.
Hey! You get out! Woo!
I feel bad though for I could have avoided that, but you know, the curse for a
No,
reason.
listen. Storytelling wise, that was a good fucking moment because we got to establish that you're cursed, and we didn't get to do that for a session. So yeah,
Must have been more unstable than I thought. You all right? Oh, you are not all right. Hold on.
Bleeding from a head wound.
You should have grabbed your helmet when you were coming.
Made the kid feel safe.
It did
Ow.
make the kid feel safe. There you go.
When
Have
did
Doc,
you split into
you-
two?
you and you alone hear a distant honking, as if a goose or a swan were nearby.
Ed just starts swiveling around, just.
looks like you're getting badly concussed, mate. No worries.
Take the potion, chug it.
Like wrapping your head up just to help stop the bleeding. There's like old school field medic tactics. It's like, oh, I've done this several times.
Okay, you can hear us talking, so you can obviously hear things. Do you hear anything out there just now?
Do I hear anything out there just now?
You do not hear any duck noises or swan noises or what have you.
Just the crackling of wood still burning. You know how it gets when it gets in logs and starts breaking down on the inside?
Touches the bandages. Like, okay, maybe I did get a little rattled, but...
A little rattle. That's a pretty big head wound. I'm impressed, Duck.
Yeah, I should have expected that to happen. Look at how unstable the place is.
Yeah. Maybe it's a better thing to leave the letter on the door for Joanna. Jonah? I'll get it soon enough. I didn't get much chance to talk to her before she helped us. And like he's gonna like look back as he says this to the now blocked off door. I just hope that the souls of the parents know their daughters are safe and that we will keep them safe. And before you ask, Duck, no, I don't know if I can talk to the dead or not, but it's better to say those things than not.
I mean, I wasn't going to assume, but then you just started doing that, so I kind of did assume, but good to clarify.
I mean, it's not like I'm gonna be able to suddenly hear a response from her dead parents. Not one of them fairy tales.
Duck glances down at her tail.
Pardon me, it's an old term of expression. I think maybe it's still used. I don't know.
It refers to in Midgehheim it would refer to the age of fairy tales, an actual part of history where a lot of really weird shit happened at once. For a setting that already has a lot of weird shit happen on the regular, it was weird even for them.
That means it was really weird.
All right, let's get you back to the
Pawns turning into princesses. Princesses fucking pigs that turned into men. Mass hysteria.
Oh no.
Keep that princess away from me.
Remind me to tell you about that fairy tale one time because I still can't believe it exists. I mean, I can, but I don't want to.
I wish it didn't.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
But yeah, DZ had a good idea. Maybe we should etch into the, probably charred, but the entrance trees. Just etch in something like "she's safe."
I can see that, yeah.
Or we can also pin the note there, just in case the note falls away.
Smart.
That works.
So you pin a note and also etch a note. Is the content just "she's safe"?
I would assume the
The-
notes would be like, we're heading northeast to warn others. She's with us. She's safe.
Do you do anything to disguise the content to anyone who might, or just on the possibility that a spy found it?
Would anything that we know from the ballad be a good code?
I would say, yeah, given that Grugan's been trying to recite it, and Margot has probably been helping him, because if there's another thing, I work at a daycare, and I realize now that this has actually affected me significantly. If there's one thing kids really love, it's telling adults things that they know about. Kids love proving that they too know things. So the Ballad of the Black Knight does involve, at least this Frankish version does involve, one character who's a princess in search of her kingdom, who sort of starts the Black Knight on a quest. And in this version of the story, the princess seems to be a child. And thankfully not a romance interest, because we're not that kind of a harem comedy, thank God.
Good.
So, yeah, there is in the Ballad of Black Knight, there is a child, a princess that the knight is trying to escort back to her home after she is lost in the woods.
Is there a way we could use that and turn that into the note?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you
leave
could
a
very
coded
easily
message.
use that to leave a coded message.
'Cause it's probably not the first time Duck has had to leave coded messages, considering her past as a thief.
Absolutely not. You would I'm not even going to make you roll this. This is one of those things where it just makes sense for your character to know how to do it if you, the player, think to do it.
Okay.
Oh, that's good on the coded messages. I was always arse at reading them.
Yeah, it's just a precaution because sometimes you gotta leave notes. As we're walking back, just chatting. Sometimes you gotta leave a note for your leaving partner, and like you said, sometimes people might come by and pick it up. It's better if they don't actually know what's being said.
If I recall correctly, beggars and like vagabonds have their own coded language.
Mm-hmm.
It actually led to why in D&D rogues know thieves can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was about to mention thieves can't. Yeah. Sorry, I gotta take some notes real quick.
You did something when the DM's going, I gotta make a note real quick.
Yep. Okay. Another day, another travel. So, I want to make absolutely clear. How long do you wait by Cabernet? Just one day?
I think we can wait one more day.
You wait a second. Unfortunately, no one comes. Except for carrion birds, and possibly, from the sounds of it, some wolves to clean up parts of the city.
Hmm.
Yeah, after that starts happening, he's like, yeah, we should go.
Yes.
All right. So you begin traveling through the woods. When the thing that was a random encounter happens anyway, because I want you to fight a lion.
Alright.
Damn it! I've been foreshadowing these lions for 2 seconds. We're fighting a lion. Roll initiative.
Holy Christ, that's a big lion, by the way.
Thank you. Well, it is a Cathan egg.
Oh yeah, Monsieur, don't forget, because you fly, things without ranged weapons can't hit you.
Oh shit. Right. Sorry. Tired.
What's up?
That's right. We're just going to defeat this lion and then you get to go.
Hell yeah.
Okay, you guys won the initiative off, so good for you.
Flavian really is shoot first, ask questions later with that skill.
He's like, nope.
Shoot your shot, Flavian.
Hold on, I forgot to check. I'll just check that later. Never mind. A lion! And there's +1 on that.
Okay. That is just enough to hit.
Woohoo!
The lion lets loose a regal roar. So I gotta roll it. So that's 11.
That was a reaction, so wouldn't
Oh,
if
shit,
we won the
sorry.
initiative?
You're right. One of you gets to go first then. Sorry. We'll just save that roll, I guess.
Do we want to do something funny?
Sure, let's do something funny.
Why not?
Let's do something funny. Hey Grugan, you want to hit it for free?
I would like to hit it for free. With my new axe.
This is a beast, right?
It is.
So that would be an extra 5 if that hits.
It does hit. Hachimachi. It's 27 damage. Goddamn. Plus.
And because I spent
It's in
the 10
crisis. It is in
Because I-
crisis.
spent the 10 MP, this ability procs. Hey Grugan, you haven't taken a turn this round yet. Would you like to go next?
Sure. If you don't mind.
Did I just get Matrix deja vu?
Grugan? You fucking kill this lion.
God damn.
Like, you split its skull. And,
The boar versus the lion.
as you do, Margot is perhaps understandably not traumatized by this sight, but rather just a bit enthused. I guess she needed a win.
Well, I mean... Jesus Christ, Grugan.
You broke that beast.
And then I don't have a sprite for this character yet. But a figure emerges from the bushes, clad in a black coat and some blackened leather armor, with a high collar and a hat, and a leather helm over his face beneath the hat. And he looks at the lion and says, I think you have stolen my kill.
We're not glamored, are we?
You are
that
not.
wasn't.
But he is not wearing the colors of Bretons. And he goes over to the lion, opens its jaws, says, "Yep, the split tooth. Common sign of a man-eater. I believe this is my beast."
Apologies.
It came right
No
at
need.
us.
Shall we bring the carcass to Alsace so you may collect your reward?
A reward? Oh, why, yes, we shall. Yeah.
There's nobody.
Is that in the direction we were going?
It was, yes.
Nobody there is gonna take any offense.
Why?
He's gonna gesture
You
at
know,
himself.
the whole new Goblin War kicking off, burning towns.
Oh, is that
Oh.
why I suppose?
Yeah, bad news
That
if you
was
had
there
any
were-
contracts in Cabernet.
what has happened in Cabernet? And at that, like, you just feel in your peripheral the little girl sort of shrinking.
Ah,
Breton and Scott
Kinda.
do it first.
yeah. Kind of like move over and gesture for her to lean down closer and be like, Britanche burned it to the ground, murdered everyone in the town.
Sacre bleu. Dark times for Franken.
Yeah, we
Set
were
them
actually
to
going
travel in
north to help
packs.
to spread the word.
A noble effort. Allow me to escort you safely to Alsace.
Thank you. Rugen will dip down and like scoop Margot up in one arm and carry her like that.
Is she from Cabernet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her family?
A sister. We couldn't wait any longer though.
Dear child, you are of Franken now. Come. Philippe Talbot, at your service. I shall bring you to Alsace, and we shall make sure that you are paid correctly for your work with this lion here.
Yes, thank you very much.
And as Philippe leads the way, we shall end our session. I finally got that lion fight I wanted.
Did.
Did you though?
Did you though?
Yeah.